Seeing is believing. We've all heard that, right? Lived by it, probably. But here in 2025, that idea, it's becoming, well, unreliable.
It really is.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something pretty unsettling. Deepfakes. That unsettling feeling that what you see, what you hear, might just be completely fabricated.
Yeah, it's a huge challenge.
So our mission for this deep dive is to really unpack what deepfakes are and, the scale of the threat they pose, not just to big companies, but to individuals too.
And how they're messing with public trust, which is a massive issue.
Exactly. And crucially, what's being done to fight back. We've got a whole stack of sources, cybersecurity reports, legal stuff, communication journals, the works. Basically a shortcut to getting up to speed.
And honestly, get ready for some surprises, not just how good these fakes are getting, but also why we fall for them. It's kind of fascinating psychologically.
It affects everyone online, which is pretty much everyone.
Right.
So if seeing isn't believing anymore, let's start right at the beginning. What is a deepfake? How does this tech even work?
Okay, so fundamentally, a deepfake is a piece of media, could be video, audio, even an image that's been made or tweaked using AI.
Artificial intelligence.
Right. To make someone look like someone else or seem like they said or did something that, well, they never did. The name itself, deepfake, it's a mashup, right?
Deep learning and fake. Makes sense.
Yeah. But the real kicker is the tech behind it. It's mostly these things called generative adversarial networks, or GANs.
GANs. Okay, what are those? Sounds complicated.
Well, imagine you have two AIs. One is like a master forger, that's the generator. It learns from real examples and tries to create convincing fakes.
Okay.
Then you have the other AI, the discriminator. Think of it as like an art critic or a detective. Its only job is to spot the fakes made by the generator.
Ah, so they're working against each other.
Exactly, adversarial. The generator makes a fake. The discriminator tries to tell if it's real or fake. The generator learns from why it got caught, gets better. The discriminator learns too, gets better at spotting fakes.
So they push each other to improve.
Precisely. Back and forth, faster and faster, until the generator's fakes are so good that the discriminator and often, us humans just can't tell the difference.
Wow. Okay, so that's how they get so realistic. It's an AI arms race, basically.
You could say that. And the results? Well, our sources show just how advanced it's become. Get this. Some systems only need about 3 to 5 seconds of your voice.
Just seconds.
Yeah, 3 to 5 seconds. And they can clone it with something like 85% accuracy.
That's deeply unsettling. Think of the implications.
Right. And for video, facial manipulations are now so refined. Studies show about 68% of video deepfakes are indistinguishable from real footage.
More than 2/3.
Yeah. And what's really pushing the envelope now are tools that combine fake audio and fake video. They can even fake live conversations.
Live? Like real-time video calls?
Potentially, yes. It completely changes the game for how we interact online. You can't automatically trust your eyes and ears anymore, not even live.
Okay, that's the how. It's impressive, terrifying, but what about the so what? What are the actual consequences? The financial impact must be huge.
Oh, it's already massive. The sources paint a really grim picture.
How grim are we talking?
Well, documented losses just from deepfake-enabled fraud. They topped $200 million in the first quarter of 2025 alone.
$250 million in 3 months.
Yep. And everyone expects that number to keep climbing fast. And think about businesses over half in the US and UK say they've been targeted already.
Targeted. How many actually fell victim?
Around 43%. That's nearly half of those targeted actually losing money or data.
That's bad.
It gets worse. Talk to corporate finance pros. 85% of them now see these scams as an existential threat.
Existential, as in it could literally kill the company.
That's the level of concern, yeah. It's not just a nuisance, it's a fundamental risk.
And we have real examples of this happening, right? Big ones.
Absolutely. There's the Hong Kong case, which was pretty sophisticated.
Yeah.
A finance employee at a big multinational firm. They got roped into a video conference call. Multi-person call. Looked totally legit. But the people on the call, deepfakes, impersonating the company's CFO, who was based overseas, and other executives too.
A whole fake meeting.
The whole thing. The employee had some initial doubts from emails, apparently, but the video call, the realism,
Yeah.
it convinced them.
So they transfer the money.
HK $35 million, that's about, what, 4.5 million US dollars? Gone.
Wow.
And it's not just one isolated incident. An engineering firm, a RUP, they lost HK $40 million over 5 million US the same way. Deepfake video of a senior exec authorizing a transfer.
It's like a scene from a heist movie, but it's real.
And there was another case in Singapore, $25 million lost. Again, deepfake CFO on a video call. These are major targeted attacks.
It's chilling. But you mentioned it's not just big companies or executives being targeted anymore.
No, that's a really important shift. While, celebrities and politicians, they still make up a big chunk, about 41% of victims.
Still high.
Yeah, but private citizens, they're now 34%. It's spreading.
Why the shift? Is it just easier now?
Partly, yeah. The tools are more accessible, but it's also about exploiting trust on a broader scale, and certain groups are especially vulnerable. Women, for instance, are heavily targeted with non-consensual explicit content.
That's awful. How common is that?
Shockingly common. That category alone accounts for 32% of all deepfake cases. That's the single biggest use.
More than financial fraud.
Yep. Financial fraud is next at 23%, then political stuff at 14%, general misinformation at 13%, but the non-consensual explicit use is disturbingly high.
And you mentioned other scams too, like job scams.
Right. Targeting remote workers, new grads, using deepfakes in fake interviews or onboarding. Plus, spreading malware. There was this thing called Noodlephile malware being spread through fake AI video tools promoted on Facebook.
It's diversifying. The methods are getting more varied.
Definitely. And it even infiltrates hiring. Get this, late 2024, a North Korean actor using deepfakes actually tricked a cybersecurity company, No B4, into hiring them.
A cybersecurity company.
Yep. If they can fool the experts. It just shows how convincing these fakes have become.
So it highlights this isn't some distant threat anymore. It affects ordinary people, our trust, even getting a job.
Exactly. Which brings us to the psychology. Why do we fall for these things so easily, even when we know they exist?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Part of it seems to be, well, overconfidence.
We think we're better at spotting them than we are.
Pretty much. There's a study, people were really confident they could spot deepfakes, but their actual accuracy, pretty low, even when they offered money to get it right.
Typical. We all think we're savvy.
Right. We overestimate our own detection skills. It's a known bias, the overconfidence effect.
And beyond just fooling our eyes, these fakes tap into something deeper, right? Our emotions.
Absolutely. They manipulate our perceptions, our feelings, just as powerfully as real videos or audio can. They exploit that fundamental, almost primal tendency we have to trust what we see and hear.
It bypasses our critical thinking sometimes.
Especially if it feeds into our biases. Confirmation bias is huge here.
Explain that one again.
It's our tendency to believe information that confirms what we already think or believe. So, if a deepfake shows something we suspected or aligns with our worldview,
we're much less likely to question it, even if it seems a bit off.
Exactly. We want to believe it, so we lower our guard.
And all of this contributes to that bigger societal problem you mentioned, the erosion of trust, this whole post-truth idea.
Yeah, it's a major factor. Deepfakes just massively blur the lines between what's real and what's fake. Media credibility takes a hit. Public confidence drops.
And you end up in this environment where objective facts feel negotiable. People trust information based on whether it fits their narrative, not necessarily if it's true.
Which is incredibly dangerous for things like democracy. Political manipulation using deepfakes is a real threat to election integrity.
And think about journalists. Their job is already hard verifying sources. Now they have to contend with hyper-realistic fakes. It makes their work exponentially harder.
And fuels conspiracy theories when people don't trust the media anyway.
Right. It really forces you as a listener to think, how does this change how you consume news? Are you more skeptical now? Should you be?
It's a question we all need to grapple with. But okay, it sounds pretty bleak. Is anything being done? Are we fighting back?
Yes, thankfully. There are significant efforts on multiple fronts. Legislation is one major area.
Laws trying to catch up with the tech.
Trying to, yeah. We're seeing moves globally. In the U.S., for example, there's the Take It Down Act from May 2025.
What does that do?
It basically forces social media platforms to remove non-consensual explicit deepfakes within 48 hours of a victim reporting it. There are penalties if they don't comply.
48 hours. Is that fast enough online? Things spread like wildfire.
That's the debate, isn't it? It's a start, a crucial one for victims, but speed is always an issue online. Still, it puts the onus on the platforms.
Okay. What else? Are states doing things too?
Definitely. Pennsylvania passed Act 35, creating criminal penalties, misdemeanors up to felonies for making or spreading deepfakes with intent to defraud or injure someone, especially targeting financial scams or messing with elections.
So putting teeth into it.
Right. And Washington State has a similar bill, HB 1205, criminalizing using forged digital likenesses for fraud, harassment, threats. Tennessee has the LVI Act from 2024, specifically protecting voice likeness from AI mimicry without permission.
Interesting. And internationally.
The big one is the EU AI Act. It's a really comprehensive piece of legislation aiming to regulate AI broadly, including deepfakes, demanding transparency, and penalizing misuse. It's seen as a potential global standard.
So governments are reacting. These laws aren't just symbolic. They're trying to build real guardrails.
Exactly. But laws alone aren't enough. Organizations, companies, they need their own defenses.
Right. Practical steps. Like what?
Well, a big one is adopting what's called zero trust communication protocols.
Zero trust. Sounds serious.
It basically means don't automatically trust any communication, especially for sensitive stuff like money transfers or HR requests, just because it looks or sounds right on video or audio. Always require extra verification.
Multi-channel verification, like a phone call back on a known number or an email confirmation through a separate system.
Precisely. Don't rely on just the one channel, especially if it's video or voice. Assume it could be fake until proven otherwise.
That makes sense.
What else? Having a clear incident response plan is vital. What do you do when, not if a deepfake attack happens, who do you call? How do you contain it?
A playbook.
Exactly. And employee training is key. Not just the usual cybersecurity stuff, but specific training on deepfake awareness, using real examples, maybe even role-playing.
Making people actively look for the signs.
Yes. And protecting the source material helps too. Companies are starting to limit access to high-quality video and audio of their executives. Watermarking public content, making it harder for the AI to get good training data.
Smart. Control the assets.
Also, tightening up checks during hiring or when dealing with vendors, adding extra steps like mandatory live, in-person, or at least clearly human-verified interviews, maybe biometric checks. Anything to stop impersonators.
Like preventing that know-before incident from happening again.
Hopefully. And of course, the basics still matter. Strong multi-factor authentication, especially for financial transactions, and specific cybersecurity audits that focus on AI and deepfake risks.
So it's a layered defense. Tech, process, people.
It has to be. Which leads to this idea of a more holistic approach, not just defense, but proactive mitigation.
Okay, tell me more about that. Our sources mentioned a kind of strategic wheel.
Yeah, it's a model with 6 interconnected steps. It starts with risk assessment and management, basically figuring out where you're vulnerable and making plans.
Makes sense. Step 1.
Then, stakeholder engagement and collaboration. This means getting everyone involved, different departments, maybe even other companies or industry groups, things like collaborative fact-checking platforms.
Working together. Okay.
Third is regulation and policy implementation. That's the legal framework we just talked about. Governments enforcing rules. Fourth is innovation and technology, using tech to fight tech.
AI to catch AI.
Exactly. Developing better AI detection tools, using things like predictive analytics, maybe blockchain for verifying where content came from. Ensuring content integrity.
Okay, 4 steps. What else?
Fifth, and this is crucial, is education and public awareness. Empowering everyone with media literacy skills, developing ethical guidelines, especially for journalism.
Teaching people how to spot fakes, or at least be skeptical.
Yes, and understanding responsible creation and sharing. The final step, number 6, is scenario planning and contingency plans, thinking through specific what-if deepfake scenarios and having plans ready, emphasizing transparency, especially in news creation.
And these 6 steps, they work together, like a cycle.
Yeah, it's meant to be a continuous loop. Assess risk, engage others, regulate, innovate, educate, plan, then reassess based on new threats. It's not a one-time fix.
That emphasis on education and media literacy seems really vital. What does media literacy actually mean in this context?
It's more than just, being able to read. It's about critical thinking skills applied to media. Analyzing different types, understanding potential bias, recognizing propaganda techniques.
Body manipulation.
All right. And navigating misinformation requires this active, almost defensive mindset. You have to constantly evaluate sources, think about who created the content and why, before you just accept or share it.
It's also about ethical responsibility, isn't it? Thinking about the impact of what we share.
Absolutely. avoiding contributing to that post-truth mess. It's about fostering critical thinking, promoting constructive dialogue, not just knee-jerk reactions.
You need educational programs, collaborations between schools, media outlets, tech companies.
All of the above. It's a big lift. And this is really where you, the listener, come in. What role can you play in all this? It's not just up to governments or companies.
It really feels like an all-hands-on-deck situation.
It truly is.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground today. Deepfakes, clearly not just some sci-fi concept anymore. They're a real evolving threat, financially, reputationally, societally.
Yeah, we've seen how incredibly sophisticated they are, the kind of staggering losses they're already causing, and the global efforts starting to mobilize against them, laws, tech, human vigilance.
The big takeaway, maybe the unavoidable truth, is that simple seeing or hearing just isn't enough anymore. We all need to develop maybe a kind of zero-trust approach to digital content.
Question everything. Verify before you trust, let alone share. It's a fundamental shift in how we need to engage with information.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. In a world where reality itself can be convincingly manufactured, where seeing isn't believing, what does it actually mean to be well-informed anymore? And maybe more importantly, how do we collectively start rebuilding a shared foundation of trust and truth that we can all actually rely on?
That's the challenge ahead.
Something to think about. Until next time, on The Deep Dive.